I wanted to show you guys my progress. I don't know where I will keep this thing now. I wanted to show you guys my progress at the gym, but the gym closed. They closed and they chased me out, so I had to leave. So let me just do some quick 10 minutes. 10 minutes. 10 minutes live. Whew. Got my pump in. This pump that will only last like maybe like half an hour. Now after half an hour I'm back to, let me see, where is the best angle? Yeah, so it's been a while, but I'm going to post some of, for you guys that don't follow me on Instagram, I'm going to be posting some of our most watch content on Instagram, the short form to YouTube Shorts, and then hopefully this year we kick up reviews again, but we start with some of the OG brands that we used to review. That was like Techno and Infinix. You know, it's been a while since I took a break from reviewing Techno and Infinix. As I reviewed it now, they say I'm too harsh on their product. So maybe we'll start again. We'll be less harsh, but still 100% honest. That was quick. That was quick.
Yeah. They have the goods already.
Guys, come reverse with me. Don't mind my bald head. You guys know that I've aged since all those days of full review. I've added like 10 years. I've been 10 years on YouTube. It's crazy.
Really? Damn. What has it been like?
It's been good though, like, you know, from long form to short form, but at the end of the day, it's like that long form is still good value for money, especially when I go back to watch those old videos and I'm like, brutal honesty where I'm giving brands bass booze. And I'm sure they are having like sleepless nights at the office. They're like, but we gave this. And I'll be like, but we give him our phone. Why is he calling the camera trash? I say, at least I even censor it. I do try and I'll censor it. Yeah. Then I say, no, we are not going to be giving him phone again. It's too harsh. But at the end of the day, I think that's the flavor of the review. Like, people are coming for.
But I haven't seen your YouTube
in a while. Nah, I haven't posted in a while.
Like, I haven't seen your YouTube at all. So, same thing.
YouTube is for the OGs. OG people that used to watch, not iPhone users like you now. People that used to watch review, Android users, a lot of Android users. And even though I use iPhones, I still don't review the iPhones. I just don't. iPhone never really gave me that satisfaction. The idea of covering that. I don't know why. I think because there's no competition. No matter how you want to criticize it, there's no iOS operating system that somebody else can get. So
it's been always Android.
Yeah.
Get them safe.
All right now. So guys, what was I? Yes, we are getting back to reviewing Techno and Infinix. Let's see whether we can have like a more peaceful, small bass boost, because I mean at the end of the day, there's no how products that are not, if they are not the best thing that money can buy, there's no how that they will not collect more water. Oh, for my non-Nigerian subscribers, and there are a lot of non-Nigerian subscribers, I actually would like to know what device you guys are watching from. So if you're watching on your PC or your TV or your phone, I would like to know what phones are you guys using these days. I'm pretty sure that is, you know, a lot of people that watch reviews don't really use some of these phones, but they are still some of the hottest phones in the African market. That's Techno, Infinix, and itel them. I know that a lot of people that buy them just to go to the market, they see the market being painted different colors, red, blue, and green or whatever, and then pick up the phone based on what the smart ambassador says. The person will say, oh, this one the battery is good, this one the camera is good, and he'll buy. But still, some Techno phones, some Infinix phones, and even some itel phones, they offer good value for money for people who don't really care too much for updates. So I think they are still relevant they lost a lot of market share this first quarter. So, you know, this might be the time that they would try to prove themselves by giving more value. You know, sometimes, like right now, the hottest phones are the phones that need to prove something, like Honor. Honor lost a couple of people from their high executives, including, I think, their CEO, if I'm not mistaken. You guys should correct me and check. So the Honor 400 series, that phone, it's too good to be true, and I don't mean too good to be true like IQO, where the processor is very good and the display scratches just by looking at it. Guys, you know, it's more like the display is very good, and display can be very good, but I took off that film screen protector. I don't really use it like that. The scratches on the IQO 13, the scratches were just so crazy. I'm like, I don't know if this makes up for having the best, fastest processor for a lot of people, because if you are not playing games, your screen is just scratching. Like, it reminds me of those days, you know, those olden days. I don't know what kind of reverse protection. The thing is just scratching anyhow. The Honor series is not one of those, you know, I want to make a very powerful phone, and not Honor 400 as the Honor, if I'm not mistaken, Honor GT, is it GT7 or something? That one is like IQO but on steroids. I don't think I even got the name right. You guys should check. Honor GT, not sure, but check. That's a very, very good phone. Instead of buying IQO, I definitely recommend you buy Honor, because Honor is trying to prove themselves after losing so many people. After losing so many people on their team, the high executives, they are trying to, you know, hit it out the park. And I'm guessing that Techno would likely do the same, because Techno also, they changed some of their stuff. But you know, there's a way that people do things in Africa that is different from the way people do things outside of Africa. So in terms of, how do I put it up? In terms of management, new management, sometimes they are too aggressive. They are telling, they try to make the phone, the reviewers, you know, put so much embargo, limit what reviewers can say. It's somehow crazy and just unrealistic and looks like PR. But for like outside of that, sometimes, you know, it's not all about embargo. I think Google is one of those companies that they do embargo too much. You know, they don't let reviewers say everything they want to say, and that just makes it seem like an advertisement. And to be honest, I'm not buying any phone for advertisements. Even if I was the audience, I would not buy any phone that's like too advertorial. You know, people should look out for real reviews. Even if you have to go on AliExpress to get those real reviews, you should definitely look out for the real reviews from customers. Let them say what the actual issues are with it, because these are real users as well, not just like, you know, selling point after selling point after selling point. Where did the executives go? That's a good question. Because most likely we would know, if the news is not already out where they went, we would know soon enough. Sometimes it takes a while for them to cook in their next position, sometimes, because you know how Carpe, what's his name, the OnePlus guy, you know, started his own nothing, even though nothing at the end of the day, they are starting out. People are giving them like the opportunity to make all the mistakes that they want to make, and to be honest, so far so good. It's not bad. They listen, they engage social media wise, they take risks. Their PR is very, very good. They're not afraid. The CEO is not afraid to have like banter, which is something that I really like. Very youthful experience from the company aspect. But for the phone itself, I don't find it compelling enough in terms of, oh, I'm buying a phone because it's cool. Guys, I'm reversing, and Perfect. Should be giving myself a round of applause. Yes. Let me read some comments. Sorry, I couldn't read because I couldn't read. So let me read now. I'm still panting from my workout because it's been 1 hour 30 minutes of. Whew. Currently using Xiaomi. Which Xiaomi? Speaking of, I feel like Xiaomi fans are angry at Xiaomi because Xiaomi is not. Xiaomi normally, even if they release a lot of phones that are, a lot of phones for different markets, they still have like some hot Redmi Note series that everybody wants to get. But these days, not these days, the last one, Redmi Note 14, it was good, but it was not like Xiaomi good. There's a standard that Xiaomi has that I think they maybe dropped the ball 2 or 3 years ago. When they made that Redmi Note 10 Pro, Redmi Note 10 series, it was so. Redmi Note 11 paled in comparison to me, especially because they did all that IP. They started some small IP something. That one I dipped in water and the thing still spoiled. And they wanted me to take down the video. I was like, why do you people put IP this, IP that? The phone did not. Two survived. The one that didn't survive is the vanilla one, Redmi Note 11. If you guys remember that video, I put Dorime. I buried the phone. I put Dorime there. If you guys remember. But nothing from Xiaomi. We have that one that has a lot of heating issues. That's the Redmi. They use the Snapdragon, the first phone to use Snapdragon 8S Gen 3. That chipset is not optimized properly for the phone. It's Turbo 4 Pro, if I'm not mistaken. You guys should check. Redmi Turbo 4 Pro. The phone is sweet. It looks like the iPhone 16 design. It's also coming in Poco something 7 series or something, F7 if I'm not mistaken. It's coming out as a Poco phone. They are changing the design a little bit. But the Redmi version with the GT Turbo, all these phones, their names are starting to confuse. But I even have my other phone here. I should be even checking. I can even check. Let me just be accurate. The phone is too good to be true. But then every review is talking about heating issues. Guys, I wouldn't buy a phone that people are already complaining about heating issues, because when they were testing it before they launched the phone, they probably already knew. And this is not like the first Redmi phone that is having heating issues, or maybe 1 or 2 things that are wrong with it that is like it's going to dampen the experience. Because guys, whenever you buy a phone and you're thinking about performance, that performance can drop below mid-range performance. That flagship or flagship killer performance can drop below mid-range performance because of heating issues, meaning that your performance is starting out at 100. After 20 minutes of gaming, it has dropped to like 60. Meanwhile, the ones that started out at 60 or 70 maintained or dropped to like maybe 68, and it is cool, which means you're not burning, you're not like going through your battery cells fast, which means your battery will last, the health would last longer. So there are so many benefits to having a cooler, slower processor if you're not like a power gamer. If you're not and even if you're a power gamer safe, that heating is crazy. Heating is actually crazy. There are some times that there was a phone I was reviewing and I had to drop it, and I said it in the review that this phone was burning up while I was reviewing and comparing. It was winning the comparison, but it was getting too hot. I had to drop it. So it's is the iPhone XR best budget iPhone? It's not the best budget iPhone because there's no brand new of it. It's not the best budget iPhone because there's no brand new of it, but that's the only reason why you cannot really like say it's the best budget. But I would say for that budget, which is here, it's $260K, which is about $150. You don't have options with iPhone. Like I was saying before, you don't have options with iPhone. But the only way to go is if you don't like the iPhone 10R, then you have to get Android, because you can either get a worse iPhone 8, iPhone X, and it gets worse from there. iPhone SE, and then it gets worse from there. Yeah, some Xiaomi and Redmi phones are not well optimized. Yeah, but with the speed that they're using to release phones, it's definitely a bit of an issue. And generally speaking, with Android, you get a lot more. You run into a lot, not with Android, with some brands, some Android brands. No, with Android, you run into a lot more issues because they release a lot of phones. They are trying to, whenever you see, like, sometimes you see, like, they release like Chinese version, maybe one Chinese version and then global version, and then they have like two different operating systems. You need to check like reviews to know exactly which one is better, because there is usually one that is better. There's a reason, like there's a reason why they would use two. The reason why they use two suppliers might not be because they're trying to make one better, but one ends up being better because these different suppliers come with different quality of products. So if you are making from like remember the Poco X3 Pro, one had sudden death problem from, I think that one was like made in India, made for the Indian market, and then the other one that was made for Nigeria, I think that one had NFC, not Nigeria market, made for the global version. That one had NFC. Then that one had a different motherboard. The motherboard was produced by a different company. That one did not have this thing. You guys can check, like, once you see people recognize the patterns. People recognize the patterns that these brands use, and then they're able to avoid the ones with problems. At least, unlike for even with then back then, when Samsung used to do Exynos and Snapdragon version, Snapdragon for American markets, Exynos for European market. It was a whole thing. There was no, even if Snapdragon is not better than Exynos in every single thing, but in the things that people feel, is a perception thing. As long as people feel like Snapdragon is better for battery life, for camera, or for price, because most definitely it's cheaper to source Exynos. So if people feel like, oh, you're saving money with me, it's not going to go down well. And that's what was a big from the tech savvy community. A lot of people just feel like, why are you, if you're not sourcing something, like you're sourcing something for cheap, why are we doing this? Why are we getting it? Why are Americans not getting it? That kind of thing. It was a whole issue for many, many years. And I think for some people still find issues with the A series Exynos, especially over the years. My own number one issue with the A series is the display. I love my eyes, guys. I love my eyes, and that display is not good for my eyes. Let me show you guys how much I love my eyes. Look at how big the text on my phone is. See how big it is. This is how much I love my eyes. So when I looking at a display and I just feel the slightest it's like something is happening, but I can't tell, but it's making me not read. I immediately know that, okay, even when it comes to reviewing, it's going to be difficult, because for me to review a phone, I have to really use it. So I'm spoiling my eyes to review a phone. It makes me not even want to review it. And this is an issue with the last A series that I used that I couldn't review because of this issue was A54. That one, like, straight up in less than 2 minutes, it started making my eyes do like this. I was like, I don't know who's gonna buy this phone, but it's bad. I think Redmi started having issues when they moved to Nigeria. No. Redmi, it was not. It's not about the move to Nigeria. I would say it's about diversifying to electric cars. No. In my opinion, no. The attention that they paid to the smartphone market diminished when they started investing in electric cars. Not when they even launched it. When they started to invest in it, because we have Huawei car now, we have Xiaomi car, and probably very soon other brands will release their own cars, and they might not prioritize the phone market as much as they used to. And Xiaomi, you can tell, even like you see like Xiaomi releasing phones that the camera is 200 megapixel. The 200 megapixel is not looking as good as some Techno, 64 megapixel. And I'm like, since when did Xiaomi start making cameras that are far worse than, when I say far worse, I mean processing, post processing, right? So when you take a picture and you zoom in 200 megapixel, you take a 16 you shoot with the same camera on 16 megapixel mode, which is the default. The only difference you see is over sharpening, which to me is giving me those first 108 megapixel cameras that were not very good. And even back then, Xiaomi released the Xiaomi Note 10 Pro, Note 10 and Note 10 Pro, that had 108 megapixel cameras that were very, very good. So the fact that that phone has better camera than these 200 megapixels they are releasing tells me that they are not spending a lot of money, like on the camera. The camera is not a key part of their budget. They just want the numbers, which is disappointing, because Xiaomi fans are like very informed. So immediately they see those things, they will clock it that this camera is not that sharp. It's over sharpened, but it's not giving me rich texture. So guys, I actually wanted to play games. I wanted to do a live stream and play games. So this was just like a preamble. I just said let me try the live. So I went live earlier in the afternoon, and then now I just go back from the gym. So I want to step out, and I want to go. I'm in my house already, but like, yeah. So I hope I answered all the questions. Thoughts on the S25 Edge? That's a phone for, if you like making bad decisions, that phone is for you. For my enemies, that's what they deserve. Only because there is no sacrifice that is not obvious in the S25 Edge. They slash the battery and slash the thinness. Doesn't really make sense. I don't know why Apple is trying to do the same thing. It's the same. My opinion will be the same about Apple. But the honest truth is even worse on Samsung, because Samsung refused to. The battery of the S25 Ultra is not optimized enough. Like, the biggest issue with S25 Ultra, and there's no issue with S25 Ultra, it's a fantastic phone, but like, when people now compare it with everything that everybody's releasing now, the BBK technologies, which is OnePlus, Realme, I won't compare Realme, OnePlus, Vivo, and Oppo, those guys are taking advantage of the new battery tech, which is silicon carbon, right? And that battery tech with silicon carbon, you are able to fit about, if I'm not mistaken, you guys should check ChatGPT or check your AI, ask your AI how much more battery you can fit into what usually would be a 3900 of lithium ion or lithium polymer battery. If you are using silicon carbon, usually it should be able to jump from that 3900 milliamp hour battery to about 6000 milliamp hour battery. So they skipped out on having a big battery in a small phone when the technology is not that new, just because they don't want to procure something and spend more money. They want to spend less money, which is like, you are trying to use up your reserve for your flagship. No, save those things for mid-range, low-end, or whatever. Save those, your, what they call it now, I don't even know which phone would use 3900, save that I would say they had in their reserve. I would just say that it's a very big cop out, and if Apple should do the same, it would be a very big cop out too. We've moved on from those days of 3900 milliamp hour battery on Android, and we definitely, the Apple leak that came out, the size of the battery was 2800 milliamp hour battery, and even that is very small. Like I am currently filming with the iPhone 13 mini because I love the tiny iPhone, and the battery is so tiny and it doesn't last. There is no way to push it. Like, even if you use the battery on low power mode, it's not going to last. But for people who are not phone pressers, so if you only text, you only call, you don't really do much internet. Yeah, but that's not a lot of people, and that's definitely not you know, why anyone buy a brand new phone from their old phone. Most people have complained that my battery is no longer lasting, I want to buy something new. Not my battery is totally fantastic, I want to buy something bad. So S25 Edge would be a very bad decision for most people, probably like everyone. Everyone. um what do you think of the A56? Is it any good? um I quite like the A56 in terms of design, but I think that's where my love for it ends, because when I move from design to price, I'm like, will I buy it? No. Not when Honor GT. Let me just like pull it. You guys need to check out this that Honor GT. If you have 500 and if you have under $600, if you have under $600, you should definitely consider it. It's called Honor GT Pro 5G, and the reviews are already wait. Honor GT Pro. It's 574 USD. If you have 574 USD, although the Samsung pricing is around 450, but then Honor also released Honor 400, and Honor 400 has like for free you have like more AI features that are camera centric. The A56 has a very good selfie camera, has a very good primary camera, um, but doesn't have like flagship AI features that the Honor has. You guys need to check out the Honor 400, especially the 400, because that's very very good value for money. Very big battery as well. Um, but for Samsung lovers, you don't have so much. You're not spoiled for choice. If you buy an older Samsung phone, the chances of getting green line on your screen when you update it in the near future, or probably even like immediately, is very high, and we've been seeing that happening. And when I say it's very high, I don't mean like it's half of people that will do it will have green line. I mean like, even if green line is 5%, it's still a lot. 5% of, I don't know how many thousand units of these phones are shipped, but it's a lot. 5% is still a lot for green line. When I think of green line, I'm thinking it should be under 1% for it to be like, okay, it's an issue, but it's not like, oh, I'm not gonna buy it because. But for Samsung, you try to buy a used Samsung phone on Gigi right now, you see that people are selling the ones with green line, the flagship S22, S23, S21, obviously S20. You know, the fact that you're trying to buy a phone that is used and people are selling the ones with green line is not a good sign, and not a lot of brands have this, issue to that point where people are selling green line phones. It's a lot. The A56 has a slight edge over Honor 400. um uh, I don't know about all that. I don't know about all that, honestly. um I would have to put it through side by side stress tests, or you watch a side by side stress test. But when I mean stress test, I mean like, it's called a stress test because the test puts it through everything all at once, tries to make the phone slow down, and that's exactly what the stress test is. It puts the phone, uses the sensors, all of the sensors all at once, gives the phone like all the punches, and then sees which one will actually, you see which one actually comes out on top. But I don't think that the difference is going to be, I don't think it's going to sway my reason for buying one over the other, because at the end of the day, the Snapdragon 7 Gen 3 is fantastic. And even with the one that the previous one that had like, some people complain about heating issues, it wasn't, I didn't experience any heating issues on the 7S Gen 2 that I used last year. But some people had heating issues, but the 7 Gen 3 is pretty good. I hope I'm not mixing up my processors on a 400. And then it's also optimized for gaming compared to the Exynos. Let me know, let nobody lie to you. Exynos will never be optimized for gaming compared to Snapdragon. Never, ever. Never have, never will. People say, oh, it's optimized for this game, it's optimized for that game. The game will still push updates. When the game pushes updates, optimization will scatter. So optimized when games push updates like every market day, like there is no optimized that would prioritize. There's no updates. There's no one update that you would expect that Exynos runs better when it comes to gaming. So I will even recommend it based on, they launched it and they said the game is faster as at launch. Okay, what about next month when they push an update? What about the next events? What about the next game that they've not even, the next hot game, whatever it is people are playing now? I checked the gaming live streams of what people are playing, and I'm seeing new games I've not really I've never played before, and I'm like, these games, forget, they're going to be better optimized for Snapdragon. So unless you have a specific offline game that doesn't need updates for whatever reason, then maybe emulator, then, and it runs well, then that's okay. But in terms of all them popular games, forget about it. They even when they are testing them, I don't think that they pay special attention to Exynos CPU. So that's why when a lot of people buy it, they leave all the Reddit threads, and they leave their complaints on Reddit threads talking about how the game is not optimized, and then many years later, obviously that's not something that will change. Can you suggest a nice phone for 500k? Let me check your budgets. Let me check what your budgets can buy on. I wish I was on my PC. I wish I could even make a video about this, because this is good. Maybe this is the video I'll make today on Instagram, because I like that budget. It's a good budget. I don't always recommend people. I like it when people have a budget that is sensible. You're not doing too much, because the challenge is how would I put it now? People that have unlimited budget don't need advice. So I like when people have like limited budgets to buy a phone, because to be honest, you don't need all the power from all these phones. Sometimes it's a waste of money. Even if you have the money, even if you have unlimited cash, does not mean you should buy the best thing after sliced bread. And that's the reason why, despite the iPhone 16e being the least powerful new iPhone, it's probably going to outsell the rest, because it's the budget is good. It's like, why is your uncle, your auntie buying the latest iPhone that is the most powerful and all that, it makes no sense. They just come around, they take selfie, they take primary picture. Nobody's zooming in looking for going to concerts and things like that. It really don't need that power, which is nice. It's nice that and I'm gonna try to create that video today and post today. So that's gonna be what to buy for 500k in Naira. That's Naira, I'm assuming. So Pixel 7 Pro. I wouldn't buy the Pixel. I wouldn't buy an old Pixel. I wouldn't buy an old Pixel or refurbished Pixel, or rather, it wouldn't be like, if I was going to recommend, I wouldn't recommend a used Pixel. And even brand new, because there's no brand new right now. So what they will try to say, well, there's probably brand new, but it's not a risk that I'm willing to take, because that's 2 generations ago. So it's not a risk that I'm willing to take. Also, if you're buying Samsung, there is no brand new. That one, I'm sure. There is no brand new. There is no hot Samsung S series that came out that they did not buy everything. Even the ones that they refurbished and brought into the market, there is no one that did not buy everything. So what you are buying is probably something that has gone to be refurbished more than once. If you are buying maybe S21, S22, S23, so have to consider how many times your phone has gone to the shop. You are not the first, you are not the second, you are probably the third user of the phone. Even though they put it in a nice sealed box, that is very easy to do. It's very easy to repackage. Same thing goes for iPhone. If you're buying the iPhone 13 now, you're not the first user, you're not the second user, probably not the third user. 13 and below, 14 even, you're not the first user, you're not the second user. 15, you're probably the second user, probably. What these phones, most of them, they go to the shop after some defective units. They go back to the shop in about the that's the 4th to 6th month. They release the first refurbished phones. So iPhone 16 refurbished phones came out around April. So around April, you now be wary about people selling you refurbished of a brand new phone, because then they've gone back to the shop in batch and then come back to as refurbished. And they the first refurbished phones are, I guess, they are not so bad. But then later down the line, you now get like refurbished, third party refurbished, which is most of them. They have like all this, their packaging, they give warranty 1 year and all those things. But some of them you get good phones, some of them you get phones that are not very good, and they grade them. But then later down the line, when they make it down to some African countries, you now see like they've packaged it as brand new, and that's where the problem comes. In fact, repackaging a phone as brand new is an indication that the phone is not grade A refurbished. That's it. It's not grade A refurbished. So grade A refurbished are phones that they're just small, maybe battery replacement. Sometimes it's just a some maybe packaging in the box that's damaged, and then they will now, by packaging in the box damage, I mean like the phone came with some defect within the box, maybe not the phone itself, and that's a grade A. No issues, no aside maybe aesthetic, maybe a dent in the camera, no major issue. Then it goes downhill from there when you have a phone that you have opened before to replace the battery. Maybe it will likely not be the battery, maybe the speaker, maybe the IC or something funny like that. Whatever it is, you start facing issues. So buying a phone is actually especially if you're buying a 500k phone, my main advice would be to buy a brand new phone, and that's what I was making a video on. If you're buying a brand new phone for 500k, you have a few options. I'm going to give each one a score based on what I do on the phone. So, but if you have specific things that you like to do on your phone, maybe you take pictures a lot, or you use like you have a lot of WhatsApp numbers, you send a lot of messages, like you conduct business on your phone, you should let me know so that I would, like, in my head, I will cater it to you. But for me, I play games, I stream a lot of vertical content. So that's TikToks, YouTube shorts, movies, short real movies that are very dramatic. And then what else? So I would say, aside that, nothing much. Camera, I don't really, funny enough, I like a good camera, but I can make some sacrifices for camera. Like I would, if say the quality of the IQOO is not that good, you can watch reviews, it's not that good, but it's good enough. I would take it with the camera quality. I'll take it with the camera quality based on the processor. It's just that display is horrible. Sorry, it's not horrible. The display scratches too easily, and that's a big problem. It's going to be a big problem. I can already see it, because from the way I use all my phones, I've only, like, out of all, say, 100 phones that I've reviewed or whatever, I've only broken one phone, and I've not scratched like deep grooves on a lot of phones. So for me to see deep grooves on a phone, I'm like, it's not even like, I've, they've given me military grade phones. The brands have sent me military grade phones that I had to throw down from, like, some heights. And although it's military grade, so obviously it didn't scratch. I had to drive over there's an Oppo phone I drove over, no scratch. But this phone has deep grooves off of sitting on a table. The most thing that would have dropped on that phone is maybe another phone. So where is the scratch coming from? That was very shocking for me. It's still shocking. I wish I had the phone here, but I don't have it here. To show you guys, you will not see, but to show you guys the phone. Beautiful phone, beautiful specs. The camera is okay. It's mid-range. It's not flagship, but it's okay. Sweet. It would have been an easy phone to recommend to everyone, but then because of that, I'm like, you have to be one way to fix that is to get a screen protector. In fact, a screen protector would forgive everything. I would forgive everything if you got a screen protector. So that, with a screen protector, that would be the clause for getting that. And you guys are real users. You guys should not be taking off the screen protectors that come with your phone. Even the film screen protector goes a long way. I made the mistake of removing the screen protector when I was unboxing it. So I peeled off this film screen protector. Don't peel it off. Even with any phone, don't peel it off unless you are going to buy that glass screen protector. I recommend using the glass screen protector because the other one can be affected by heat. Heat might change the color, and then your viewing experience will be somehow. That's for the film one. So if you are using a film screen protector, so many things affect that too. You should get a glass screen protector. You take a lot of pictures and videos. In terms of for Android, I think, even though they all seem, from the layman perspective of iPhone user, people say something is Androidish when you move and the exposure dampens, like it goes back and forth. Some phones are better than others, and Samsung video camera is actually really good. Samsung video camera is actually really good. So if you are a video and selfies, the selfies are actually really good. Mid-range wise, flagship, like, some people say, oh, they don't like it, but I think when people say they don't like it, I think they are talking about the Snapchat quality. And obviously it's not going to be the same. If you're using Snapchat camera on Android, it's never going to be the same as iPhone. When you use the default camera, the camera app, my battery is about to die. Guys, let me go in and film that 500k budget video. I hope you guys watch it. I'm going to be posting it on TikTok, and I'm going to be posting it on Instagram. It's going to be a very casual video. I might even still be wearing my gym clothes because I want to do it now while it's still hot in my head. So thanks for joining the live, and I would see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow is leg day. I'm going to be going to the gym. My battery is about to die. 2%. No. See you guys. It's 13 minutes. It's 13 minutes. I wish I could take a picture so you can see how low the battery is before the thing dies. Let me take a picture. It's broken. The screen protector is broken, but see, 2%. So sad. I have a power bank here, but I don't know if I'm going to get to it before the thing goes off. It's one of them. I have a power bank actually. So it is charging now, but it might still go off. So let me just end the live stream because it's already on 1%. And I charged this phone. This phone, when I started live streaming in the afternoon, it was at 70 something percent. And then when I started it later, it was at like 66%. So that 66% only carried us live for 45 minutes. That's what I'm talking about. Like, for my needs now, someone will come and tell me I should buy iPhone 17 Slim. So I'll be carrying power bank around, although I carry power bank around. But it's not like you don't want to have to need it. It should be like, okay, oh, maybe after like 2 hours of live streaming or 3 hours of live streaming. But this is not even 1 hour of live streaming, and we're already dealing with, oh, the thing is charging fast too. It's 5%. It's actually not going to go off. It's charging fast. Okay, let me see if I can answer one question before I go. Yes, please. 700k budget. So if I do 500k budget, I will do 600k budget so that it can flow, and then 700k budget. So it will be 500, 600, 700, 700. Yeah, 500, 600, 700, maybe 500, 700, 900. But that 900 budget is a little high, so I might go down to 300 or 400. Yeah. So 500, 700, 300. Why am I saying message retracted? Is that a thing that people can do? Wait, though. You guys know that this live, like, not a lot of people use it. Honor GT Pro has 7200 silicon. Yeah, they actually finished work on that phone. The Edge is a very awkward flagship, and it's not that pretty, to be honest. Like the concept is good, but the implementation, the body, it doesn't look as premium as the S25 Ultra or S25 or even S24 Ultra or S23 Ultra or S22 Ultra. Like, the design is somehow, it doesn't look good to, how would I put it now? It doesn't look premium. It looks fine, but it doesn't look premium. It looks fine for a $400 device, but it doesn't look premium. And I feel like it's not something that is hidden. I think that a lot of people can see it, that it's not giving flagship vibe. It's giving mid-range vibe. Do you think OnePlus has a chance to compete in the Nigerian market? Not with their pricing until the 13S dropped in India, which changed the game. And I think that 13S is something that, but it's something that would have sold in Nigeria if OnePlus was on their A game for years. But they have not even been doing any kind of PR, so people would not buy what they don't know. You know, like these brands, they have to put in the work. Like, for instance, Realme right now, they are putting in the work. They are releasing phones that are catching people's attention, because it's not just about even doing using content creators and pushing ads and everything. Like, people want to know the truth. Like, what can this, like, it's not going to do everything. What can it actually do besides being unbreakable or whatever? And they will see that, okay, this phone is, first of all, is affiliated to a company that's BBK Technologies, because now people are going to do their own research. They don't want to just buy it because you cannot break the phone, you cannot break the phone, you cannot break the phone. Okay, fantastic. What else can it do? What else is this company about? They will see that they are pushing updates too. They are pushing updates. It's outside Nigeria. It is considered more premium. OnePlus has that going on, but the thing is, if they don't do PR consecutively year after year, people are not going to know. Think about how Oppo started in Nigeria. Oppo went big. They went BB Nigeria big. Everybody was like, Oppo, what is Oppo? What is Oppo? What? Even after that, we were asking, what is Oppo? Now, anybody that does not know what Oppo is, like, you are not even, maybe you are in a remote area. Even if you are in a remote area, safe, you will know what Oppo is, because Oppo is like popular now. So if you mention, well, not as popular as Tecno and Infinix and Itel, because those ones, they've been, in my first Android phone was even Tecno, but they are popular in the sense that before people mention Nokia as a HMD, rather, as an Android brand, they will mention Oppo. Before people mention, say, let me see, what are the Android brand? Before people mention OnePlus, obviously, they'll mention Oppo. Before people mention Vivo, they'll mention Oppo. Before people mention maybe some all this, they are. Let me think about a brand that before people mention Sony, they will mention Oppo. In terms of phones, Sony is very niche. They don't really know. They're not doing much right now. Before people mention HTC, because nobody knows about HTC anymore. A lot of people don't know about HTC anymore. You'll mention Oppo. So when they mention brands, they probably go Techno, Infinix. No, they'll go, well, for Android brands, Techno, Infinix, Samsung, Itel, then Oppo. I think. No. Xiaomi, Techno, Infinix, Xiaomi, Samsung, then Oppo. So Xiaomi definitely, but for some people, Redmi. So Xiaomi, Redmi, Techno, Infinix, Itel, Samsung, then Oppo. In terms of popularity, I think. Whew. All right, guys. Let me head on down and create that 500k budget video quickly. Whew. This is what I should have done since. Should have covered my bald head. You've not answered me. I'm an Android user. Let me just scroll quickly. What do you think? The phone is a hand-me-down, 77% battery. What do you think of getting a 13 Pro Max? The phone is a hand-me-down, 77% battery. But it's not about the 77% battery. It's about the 77% battery is not a bad. It's not the worst thing. It's not the worst thing. It's like that's like maybe they use the phone for 3 years plus. If everything works, 13 Pro Max, the people that bought the first one are the only lucky people. Everybody that bought, maybe not everybody, a lot of people that bought the refurbished that they brought into Nigeria, they ripped them off monumentally. They brought the worst of the worst versions of the 13 Pro Max for refurbished ones. And by refurbished, I mean like they packed it in a nylon, they sealed it like brand new, and people bought it. Was it nylon or was it sleep? Which phone started the sleep? I think it was 13 self. They started the sleep. They shall repackage it very well, and people suffered the phone going off, having issues and all that stuff. So, but if your phone is on 77%, I'm guessing that it might not be one of the ones with issues. Maybe the person bought it brand new, which is a good thing. I definitely would recommend that you take a free hand-me-down, because why not? Yeah. Okay, let me just head on and make that video. I hope you guys would join. You guys would leave a comment so I will know that, like, you're seeing it from here. It would be nice. Matter of fact, if you're not following me on other social media pages, you should definitely follow me on social media pages. Most especially Instagram, because Twitter, I turned my Twitter into like an advocacy thing against white supremacy. Because we are not all about phones in this life. We still advocate for human rights. Human rights. Anyway, take care. Peace.